George. Hi, George. My name is Simone. I'll be your nurse tonight. So I'm just going to do a quick test on you to see how you move around, and we'll see how you're going to be moving around while you're in the hospital here, okay? So first, do you know where you are?
No, I'm in a nursing home.
No, you're not in the nursing home. You're in the hospital here in Grafton. Do you know what time it is?
I don't have my watch on, so 10:30
AM or PM?
a.m.
No, it is about 6 o'clock PM. Okay, so he doesn't know where he's at and he doesn't know the time. So usually in this case, I would have a second nurse with me to conduct this assessment. So we'll just assume that I do have a second nurse here, but I know that I would usually have a second nurse during that. So we're gonna start our assessment. When I'm doing this, I will have my CMET tool so that I know to cover all my bases, which I do have on my computer here. So we'll be going through it here. So George, what I'm gonna have you do is I am going to have you do 3 leg raises. So I'll help you, I'll demonstrate it on you, and then I'm gonna have you do that 3 times for me, okay? So what you'll do is you'll raise your leg up as high as it can go, like that, and then that, and that'll be 1 time. And then you do the second set and then the third set, okay? So can you do that for me? Perfect. So George did that without any assistance. So that means that we'll just move on to the next part here, which is step 3, and that is for him to sit up at the edge of the bed. So George, can you sit up at the edge of the bed for me? Perfect. And I'll just have you kind of scooch, there you go, feet flat on the ground for me. Perfect. All right, so he did that without any assistance, which is good. So we'll move on to step 4. So what I'm gonna have you do is kind of just sit here. I can see that he's sitting here without any assistance. He's able to sit, not lean back or lean to the side. But I'll test it further by just slightly pushing him and seeing if he meets resistance. So Jordan, I'm gonna kind of test your resistance here and see if you can stay sitting up even with some weight pushed against you, okay? Okay. Perfect. So he's able to do that. So we'll move on to the next step, which is step 5A, to see if he can stand. Can you stand, George? Perfect. He stands with no assistance or, you know, without my help or anything. So we'll move on to step 5B, which is the sit to stand. So George, I'll have you sit, stand, sit, stand, sit, stand, and stay standing for me for the next part of the test here, okay? But can you do that 3 times for me without any help? Perfect. All right, so George is able to do that without any help here. So then we move on to step 6, which is the marching or the moving back and forth. So I'm gonna ask George if he has any knee pain. Do you have any knee pain, George?
A little bit.
Okay, so since he has knee pain, we're gonna take that into consideration. We could do marches, but that might irritate his knee. So we'll just have George do the march forward and back. So George, I'm gonna demonstrate this for you, but you're gonna march 1, 2, and 3. Can you do that for me? Perfect. So George is able to march forward and back 3 times with each leg. So without any assistance. So that's letting me know that he does not need any assistance with that as well. So now this is the part where we make the final decision. So based on our final decision, he is pretty well with moving by himself, but because his cognition is a little off and he's a little confused, we'll still have somebody in the room to help him with his needs, and if he needs to go to the bathroom, if he has to do anything while in the room with, you know, at all. So with that being said, George, we'll have you use something called a gait belt while you're here in the hospital. You can still walk around and do everything you need to do. We'll just have you with a gait belt, and it's usually just that little belt, and we'll kind of move George around the room and kind of just keep a hand on him while he's in the hospital. So we'll make him supervision. What else? He might need some like cues on like where to go if he's a little more confused than usual. So that gait belt will also kind of help us, just kind of help steer him where he needs to go in case he doesn't think the bathroom is the bathroom or anything like that, since he already thinks he's in the nursing home. What else? Well, yeah. So his CMS score will be like maybe like a 2 to 4 supervision. So thank you.